Hey, welcome to another episode of the Rob Report. I'm your host, Robert Bob TV Brown. Before we get into this segment, by the end of this video, I want you to do a few things for me. First of all, if you like the video, hit the like button. Please do. If you don't like it, hit unlike. It's okay. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Sometimes, as Jimmy Dole would say, you find yourself unsubscribed and you need to make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell right next to it so you can be notified when a new video is being dropped. Whoop, there it is. And more importantly, the super chat will be on for this segment. So if you want to donate toward the efforts of Bob TV, that's freely up to you. I do have a job, but any amount will help toward the growth of this channel. And more important, let us help you help us by introducing you to a program. There's a link down below that says Equal Justice for All. You're going to click that video link and there's some educational tutorial about a phenomenal program in America that is really making equal justice a reality for every citizen. So this program is phenomenal. The proceeds from you participating in the program will go back, 10% will go back into the Bob TV YouTube channel. So anyway, my name is Robert Brown with the Rob Report. Let's get into it.
Blue collar, white collar, black professors, white scholars, politicians, Dalai Lamas. Everybody in the whole wide world need hope if I be honest. I'm in that number.
All right, Bernie Sanders, here we go. Bernie Sanders, the man of the hour, the man with the plan. They talked about him on The View. We're going to go into this. Bernie Sanders is now running. It is official. Feel the burn. 2020 is in full effect. Now, let's talk about Bernie for a second because I think it's very important, very, very important that Bernie do something unconventional. Now, they talked about his new team. Nina Turner and a couple other people that's going to be his co-chairman. This is what I want Bernie to do right now. I want Bernie to upset the world, shock the Democratic Party, and upset the whole political process by doing what unions do. Unions, they campaign a lot of time on a slate, and more people lean toward a slate versus people campaigning individually. Bernie Sanders don't need to really be going toe-to-toe with Tulsi Gabbard or toe-to-toe with any other progressive on that debate stage, even though it would be good. But I heard the more progressives on the stage, the more corporatists will get blotted out. I want Bernie Sanders, if they're going to do that, if they're going to be going toe-to-toe on stage against each other, that they make a pact, that they lift up each other. I'm talking about progressives. Warren, Tulsi Gabbard, Bernie, whoever's on that Democratic stage that's a true progressive. When I say true, somebody who haven't taken a position to run for office. They had that position for a long time, and that's why they're running for office. So Bernie, once he do that, he have to have a slate right off the bat. I told you, to me, I'm sorry, I'm not, right now I'm on a reserve. I don't want to guarantee Bernie my vote for anything right now, unless he make Nina Turner his vice president and say it up front. Now, he's been hinting around it, but that woman has done so much for his organization that it can't not get an award. We cannot keep her in that position. Let somebody else get that position. She's his best mouthpiece. She's his best hype woman. You know what a hype man is? Hype man is the person that come out and get the crowd all hyped up before the concert start. She is his Flavor Flav and he is Public Enemy. Public Enemy is nothing without Flavor Flav. And when Chuck D went on, his career wasn't all that hot without Flavor Flav and vice versa. So out the bat, he need to say, you know, I'm running for office and guess who I'm going to make my vice president? Nina Turner. And guess what? If I do win the nomination, I'm going to make Tulsi Gabbard Secretary of State. Now, I know we talk about Tulsi. We want Tulsi to be president. Tulsi will make a great president. I'm not counting her out. I'm just saying, if it came to that point, he need to right now announce that Nina Turner will be by his side as vice president. And this would deter all the myths Just get rid of them. Because here you got a black fired up woman that is being put in a position of vice president, second to president, just in case, Bernie is older and, it's time for him to go. He'll have a viable person to take his place that's just as on fire and just as hungry and have the same policies as he have. I think that's the best thing for Bernie to do. Right off the bat, say, I'm running for office, and I already know who's going to be my VP. If I had to pick a VP, it's going to be Nina Turner. And if I have to get somebody as Secretary of State, it will be Tulsi Gabbard. Yes, Tulsi Gabbard will make a great VP. Bernie Sanders will make a great VP to Tulsi Gabbard. But I'm talking about long-term progressives being in office for at least the next 10 years. I'm not thinking about one election. I'm talking about the next 10 years. With Bernie Sanders as president, Nina Turner as vice president, and Tulsi, Secretary of State. Tulsi is young. She got, like I said, I'm not counting out for now. I'm not counting nobody out. And I'm just telling you, if they want to win, they got to have an unconventional, off-the-wall team. Now, I don't know where Killer Mike will come in, but Killer Mike should be in charge of urban initiatives for Bernie Sanders right now. Right now. And him and Bernie Sanders need to go out there and talk to the black community, the Hispanic community in the urban areas and in the South so they can get those votes. Now, I'm not here to talk about strategy, and it's late, and I know you guys got to go to bed, but if you want to win, you got to do something crazy, something off the wall, something unconventional, something to shake both parties, something to shake the political spectrum in the 2020 election. And this is unconventional to already name your VP off the bat. Nina Turner will capture. Now, Bernie Sanders is going to do good with the black vote anyway, but Nina Turner will lock it in a whole lot. And then you got the black women vote. Then you got the youth vote. So it's just the best thing for him to do to win. To me, if you're not going to put this woman on the ticket, that ain't going to sit right with me. She worked so hard for this campaign to be sitting on the sidelines with our revolution. The Democratic Party don't like her. That's another reason why I want him to pick her, because they wouldn't even fund her to run for governor of Ohio. They didn't want to fund her to run a second term as state senator. They don't like her. But yet she's staying loyal to that party. I don't understand how they do it, but they do it. But I'm saying to reward them for their loyalty, she need to be VP. She's done so much more than anybody that he has in the circle. She's a whole lot of reason why Ocasio's in office, and a lot of, she's a Justice Democrat, but she got some support from our revolution too. So I'm off that. That's not the whole story. Let's get to the story. The View had Bernie Sanders on there today, and this is what they have to say about Bernie Sanders.
Senator Bernie Sanders announced he's running for president. Watch.
It is absolutely imperative that Donald Trump be defeated, because I think it is unacceptable and un-American, to be frank with you, that we have a president who is a pathological liar, and it gives me no pleasure to say that, but it's true.
Bernie claims that all of the issues he pushed about health care and taxes that were considered so radical during the last campaign have now gained mainstream acceptance. Is he right?
I don't think he's wrong about that, actually.
No.
Maybe this is... I actually wish that Trump went against Bernie Sanders. I think that would have been a far more interesting race, because the country was sort of leading towards this movement. I don't know. I don't think he's wrong about that. I think the left has really moved more in his direction than the moderate lane.
Oh, my God. I think the silver lining about this is we get Larry David back on Saturday Night Live.
Why do you figure that's a silver lining? Now, y'all know me. I haven't been the biggest fan of Bernie Sanders because, I don't want to, I worked hard in that campaign in 2020. Matter of fact, the whole thing about Bob TV was Bernie or Bust TV. It just happened to be that my name is Robert too, which is short for Bob, but I started Bernie or Bust TV. That was my first thing that I did on YouTube. So I was gung-ho for Bernie Sanders. And I was really about a revolution. I went out there to Philadelphia willing to get shot, willing to get arrested, whatever, to fight for that man's nomination. Now, there was some funny stuff that happened where the Democratic Party did some shady stuff. And a lot of people don't know the whole story. They assume they know the whole story. I don't even know the whole story. This is one thing I know for a fact, that they moved the vote up early where Nina Turner wasn't able to vote, put Bernie Sanders' hat in for the nomination. They pulled her off the stage to speak. I keep telling you, the Democratic Party do not like progressives. Pulled her off the stage to speak, and the Bernie Sanders surrogate was upset. Yet we were in the streets ready to go to war for his nomination. And when he gave up to fear, the fear of Trump, it really crushed me. Because to me, a revolution, you put your life on the line for the revolution. But then somebody sat down and told me, in order to win a war, this is a person that's done military operations. In war, you retreat, sometimes regroup, and then reattack. Retreating is not weakness. So my thing with the whole thing with Bernie Sanders is, this is one thing I can say about him. I always tell people, when you vote for somebody, you got to vote for somebody who not just, just spit out promises. You got to look at what they've done in the past, what they're doing now, and what they plan on doing in the future. Bernie Sanders have been doing the same thing over and over in the past for a long time, fighting for working people. The first time I was introduced to Bernie Sanders was at the Verizon strike here in New York City. I didn't even know this was before he ran for office. And then when he ran for office, I wasn't going to vote for him. I wasn't going to vote for nobody. Then somebody gave me a book by him, and I read it. And then I did more investigation on Bernie Sanders, and I just saw that he not only does what he did in the past, he's doing it now, fighting for all kind of rights, putting in all kind of legislation, and really moving a lot of things around for working people. We got Jeff Bezos to come off that money and pay the people $15 an hour. He pushed for prescription drugs, so the man is working. So I know he will work in the future. So that's the good thing, that I will never take that away from Bernie Sanders. Opposite of what happened at the convention, what he's done, his record is solid. Now, I don't like the fact that people are discounting him, because you can't discount him. According to the polls, he's already 44% above anybody that's running right now in the race in the Democratic Party. But let me keep going.
We do, that's right. Look, I think the problem he has, though, is that whereas he had the progressive lane almost all to himself, or really all to himself 4 years ago, this time it is a very crowded progressive field. A lot of people eating out of the same pie. Well,
all right, let me stop right there. It is not a crowded progressive fields. Those are fox-gressive, or what I call fake-gressive. Cory Booker is not progressive. Don't even try. Cory Booker is more conservative than progressive. He's done so much more. So Cory Booker is not a progressive. Gillibrand is not a progressive. Come on. These people are not progressive. So the progressive field is not wide. There's only 3 or 4 progressives in this race.
12 Democrats that have announced running. I think we'll still hear from some more. I don't know. Is he now going to be the spoiler? I mean, Joe Biden hasn't announced yet. I suspect that he will.
Oh, God. Spoiler. He didn't spoil anyway. Spoiler. Sonny, come on. Spoiler. Get out of here with that stuff. No, the man ain't going to be no spoiler. The man is the leading candidate. He is the top dog. He is the powerhouse. He's leading this thing. Ain't no spoiler. The only thing going to be spoiled is you want a corporatist in office, and he's going to spoil that for you. This one thing I can tell you, that even though some people say, well, Bernie can't be trusted, he's going to do whatever the Democratic Party tell him to do. Not if he become president. No. And Bernie Sanders know the Democratic Party hates his guts. Nina Turner know they hate his guts. My problem is getting to that position. Because once you become president, it's your deal now. The party got to follow you. You don't follow the party. You control everything. When Obama was president, they didn't want him at first, but as soon as he got in office, they followed him. I've never seen it where the president ended up being the puppet of the party. No, the president leads the party. He calls the shot. And what make us think it's going to be anything different? The thing is, getting there. Now, getting there, you might be right. But once he get there, it's a whole different ball game. So she talking about spoiling. Get out of here. The man got so much juggernaut. He's a juggernaut right now.
I'm just not sure. And to your point, Anna, yeah, he was sort of the progressive. I don't know that, you know, policies like raising the minimum wage, universal health care, I don't know that those are really that left. I think when you poll the American...
Now it's not that left because during 2016, it was considered left. But because he worked to make it mainstream, and I got to give him credit for that. Despite some of my oppositions on Bernie, I give him credit for that. I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not giving nobody my vote, but I'm going to give credit where credit is due. I'm going to criticize where criticism is due, but I got to give him credit for that. He's moved the scale. Hillary Clinton was talking about 12. He was talking about 15 all along. Now we're starting to get 15 across the board. He was talking about no-cost college. Hillary Clinton was like, no, we don't know. We're starting to see that go around in the United States. So he is the reason why he took it from left-wing policy to mainstream policy.
They want it.
Yeah, when you poll Americans, they want that. And I, too, think that health care should be a right. I think when you get ill, you know, you need to be taken care of. Don't we want that in our society? We're actually one of the only countries that don't have something like that. It's not so progressive. I think it's just human.
The thing I will say about him is don't underestimate him. I mean, he got 60% in New Hampshire in 2016, 49% in Iowa. This time, there are no superdelegates to come against him and scandal with Debbie Wasserman Schultz that they seemed in the tank for.
Superdelegates are still around. They haven't been abolished. They've only been abolished when it comes to the first vote. But if it comes to a close call, that's when the superdelegates are still going to come in and try to vote. That's why Donna Brazile said, we still have a seat at the table. You shouldn't have nothing at the table with your crooked self.
Hillary Clinton, so he already has that going for him. My favorite game that I like to play, or one of them, is hypothetical election scenarios. And one of the things I did over the weekend is I thought that there was actually, I had a conversation with my husband, there's actually a scenario where Bernie Sanders could take New Hampshire and Iowa and then go to South Carolina and possibly get beat by somebody like Kamala and then go into Super Tuesday, where she's obviously from California, and she sweeps, and there's another sort of fracturing in the...
Kamala Harris ain't beating Bernie Sanders in the South. Black people are not falling for Kamala Harris. Just want to say that.
Democratic Party, so I think he is still the original with all the socialist disciples coming up after him. So I think he's truly formidable.
Socialist disciples.
He's the most powerful, he's the most popular politician in the country
The only problem that I think, well, Whoopi's not here, so I don't want to speak for her.
Thank God.
He said it over and over again.
She's not a socialist.
He's an independent, really.
That he shouldn't run in the Democratic
He should run as
Party.
a Democrat.
He's running as a Democrat, but he's an independent.
Look, I would love for him to run independent. I would love for him not to kiss the behind of the Democratic Party. He has enough power to not do that. But he chooses to run in the Democratic Party. But whether he's Democratic or not, he probably had to become a Democrat in order to run in the party, because I think some of the rules change. He's been caucusing with the Democrats, so he's been hanging around. It's just like my homeboy. I had a real white boy Rick that hung out with us black brothers on the streets. In our book, white boy Rick was black boy Rick. And if you mess with white boy Rick, we're going to whoop your behind. And that's how Bernie Sanders assumed that he should be with the Democratic Party. Okay, I've been caucusing with you. I've been your boy. I've been helping you guys get stuff passed, so I know you got my back. But no, Bernie, you ain't that white boy Rick. They don't like you. They still ain't going to like you while you're running. They're going to be trying to shut you down. That's why I would rather you run as an independent, because you already got the name recognition. It will automatically put you on this. Being the most popular politician will put you on the debate stage in a heartbeat. You don't have to kiss up to the Democratic Party. You can go on your own and win this thing and still pick Nina Turner as your vice president, Tulsi Gabbard as your Secretary of State. You can do something unconventional. But no, I'm not his campaign manager. He's not going to listen to me. He feels running in the Democratic Party is the right thing for him to do.
independent.
No, she said he should run as an independent, I believe.
Yeah, I mean,
Or socialist
he ran
I don't
as
know
a
if the
Democrat
country-
in 2016, but he is an independent.
But you know,
He's always been.
I gotta
If he
tell you,
keeps
Coffee
calling-
Boy running as an independent is enough of a spoiler for me. That man is...
Coffee Boy.
Schultz.
Barista.
that guy got into the right business because you need to consume caffeine in order to be able to stay. Certainly not in this campaign.
There's no one running,
Is Bernie
though.
really a Democrat?
There's no one running in the Democratic side so far that's really filled that moderate lane. Amy Klobuchar sort of. Last night she did
Amy Klobuchar.
If you look at her policies, she's pretty far left when it comes to health care and education. When she's been asked about it.
No, baby, no. Whatever your name is, nah. Kamala Harris is not no lefty. She's not even center. Kamala is a right-wing operative. Her policies concerning the rule of law is more righter than Trump. So no, don't be telling that lie about Kamala Harris or Kamala Harris or whatever, RoboCop, whatever her name is. You know, that cop part in her name was prophecy. We knew what she was going to be with that name.
But Amy Klobuchar was asked last night by someone in the audience about free college tuition, and here's how she...
It's not free. It's no cost. Somebody is paying for it. The taxpayers are paying for it. So stop saying free. It's no cost education, no tuition. Tuition free. You can say that, tuition free, but it's not free.
She reacted that. It did surprise me.
Yes or no? Would you support free college for all?
I am not for free four-year college for all.
Tell me he didn't just say that.
Thank you.
So let me ask you this, because...
And I wish if I was a magic genie and could give that to everyone and we could afford it, I would. I'm just trying to find a mix of incentives and make sure kids that are in need, that's why I talked about expanding Pell Grants, can go to college and be able to make sure that people that can afford it are able to pay.
Why is it that when I was in college, I paid $75 this term? Why is that? I went to city universities. I got a master's degree pretty much for free. Why is it that it could happen then, but it can't happen now?
Was it so the city paid for it?
It was a city university. The whole city university is expensive now. It's not the way it was.
Bad budgeting, not
An
prioritizing
MA, also a whole
education.
MA at Stony Brook.
Yeah.
Practically
And I got
free.
scholarships. I got academic scholarships.
Well, scholarships are always available, but I mean, they talk about it as if it's some new idea. It's been done,
God,
Amy.
thank God my
Well,
parents could pay because I couldn't get a scholarship.
Go ahead.
I don't think Amy Klobuchar can get actually through the primaries because it has moved so far left. So I've said this from the beginning, if a Democrat is going to be successful against Trump...
Use her as an
we have to
example
do
of a
this.
moderate, though?
Yeah, I'm saying I think she would struggle
can't get
getting
through the
through a
primaries as
primary
a
because,
moderate?
because the primaries, it seems like, has on the
disagree
Democratic
with
side,
you.
has moved
I do not
more
think that
left.
the Democratic Party has gone so far left. I actually think that that's sort of a Republican talking point. I think Republicans really wish that the Democratic Party moved so far left. I think the Democratic Party is a really wide umbrella and that there are people that are freshmen in the Congress that are left, but I think by and large...
Well, can I...
Yeah, I'm here in New York City, and Bernie Sanders worked with Cuomo to pass a bill to offer no cost tuition to anybody in New York City that goes to City University. SUNY, what we call CUNY, the same college that Joy just talked about. So we do have that now, that if you're making under $250,000 a year, you can qualify for no cost tuition. Education, no tuition, but you got to live here. And it doesn't include your books, though. You got to buy your books, but your tuition is free. So since I got some free time, since I don't have a job right now, I'm going over to the school and get me some more education while I'm waiting on this mess to happen. Now, like I said, I feel the union, my union is a hardworking union. They'll get me my job back. But in the meantime, I'm going to get this mind right. Hey, like I say, if you feel free, there's a link that's going to be under this video in about an hour from Streamlab. If you want to donate to the cause of Bob TV, you can do that. Now, just because I don't have a job don't mean I'm begging. I'm not going to beg. I do have a business. So if you take time, look down below, you're going to see some information about Equal Justice for All. It's a phenomenal organization that's providing equal justice to everybody at a very, very low cost, less than a cup of coffee a day. That will help me if you But my main thing, I want people to know about it, because you may not need the services, but somebody you know could use the program. So by all means, get educated on your free time. Click that, watch the tutorials in the playlist, and get educated with the services, and spread the word around. I mean, equal justice should be for all, and I'm doing whatever I can to make it affordable for all. And that's what this program does. It doesn't matter from the trivial to the traumatic. We can help you with that situation or organization I'm working with. So, hey, this is Robert Brown with the Rob Report. I appreciate y'all, and thank God for you all, and I hope to see you on the next one. Peace.